Just how do you measure success these days? Billionaires seem to be popping up everywhere. And big pop culture moments? Well, they're few and far between unless it's existing IP. Movies and television shows rarely go past our screens anymore, unless they can make the leap to the screens in our hand. The new measure of success just may be a meme. Nothing sees more eyes than a good one, but an interchangeable meme based on a famous character? Even better. The Mandalorian is one of those cases. A streaming television show from 2019, The Mandalorian is based in the world of Star Wars and features a lone gunman making his way through the galaxy. The show quickly found its audience and became an almost immediate success thanks to its source material. Another key reason for its success, though, was the addition of a very cute character who bore an uncanny resemblance to a very young Yoda. Shareable would be an understatement from this character that the world would soon know as Baby Yoda. We would learn his real name, Grogu, later in the series. But Baby Yoda was here to stay, and for the next 6 years, he was a meme machine, dominating the internet. Speaking of dominance, Star Wars toys have been doing that since its debut in 1977. And Hasbro's Transformers know a little something about dominance too, as they were successful immediately and maintained it over 40 years. So, it was just a matter of time until we got a collaboration between these two, and in 2005, they came together for a crossover line. Although it quickly gained notoriety, not for quality, but for the lack thereof. Famous for yellow and brittle plastic. A second attempt in 2018 fared a lot better, when Takara Tomy helmed the Star Wars Powered by Transformers, a higher-end toy line based on the vehicles from the films. In 2025, Hasbro was back in the fold for yet another Star Wars Transformers crossover. This time, for The Mandalorian. Based on the N1 starfighter from the show as the alt mode, this is The Mandalorian. Guys, let's get it. Alright guys, as usual, let's take a look at the box. And the box, in this case, is what actually drew me in. When I first saw this figure a few months ago for sale, when I saw it online, I looked at the price point and looked at the toy and I said, I don't think so. There's a Star Wars tax on this, there's a bit of a Disney tax. That's what everyone's saying. And that's fair. I didn't want to do it until I went into Walmart. This is a Walmart exclusive, by the way. I went into Walmart and I saw this thing on the shelf in my little corner of the world in the east coast of Canada, and I kind of couldn't believe it. And when I saw it in person, let me tell you what, it swayed me because it's gorgeous. The box is great and the toy itself looks wonderful. So here we are. We got Mando right on the front, and this is his N1 starfighter that he drives, and the box is supposed to invoke that cockpit look. And what carries on over here, the side, and the other side too. But also here we have in the back. There we have Mandalorian in his couple of different modes, and we do have a lot of blast effects and some extra add-ons here. So here we are looking at these pictures. Does it justify the extra price? Let's find out. All right, guys. first impressions out of the box, well, just look at it. This is impressive. All of these blast effects that come with it, and there's a couple more I'm not even using right now. As well as the shield that doubles as a base. And this doubles as a cape as well. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, another thing I noticed right out of the box is that the color, as usual with these toys, every time you see a picture of it, you're not really impressed, but then you get it in hand. Wow. What can you say? The colors, the details, it really does pop. Let's get this thing in robot mode, see what it looks like there. And here's Mando in robot mode, and he looks great. A lot of the same stuff applies. I mean, the paint looks phenomenal. A lot of this color saturation looks wonderful as well. Face sculpt, solid. Pretty darn close to what we see in the show. And I gotta say, it feels pretty solid, yet nice and slim. Okay, Mando's got pretty good articulation too, so let's start with the shoulders. Probably the least favorable part. Because of these spikes, you can't go all the way around, but it's pretty close. And there's some kibble here too. But that's the only restriction. Other than that, we got elbow movement, bicep rotation, hand rotation. We have a full 360 in the waist. That's really good, although my copy is a little bit loose. Not a big deal. We can do full splits both ways for the legs. So there's a lot going on there, which is really, really nice. And then we got a nice knee joint right here. And the thighs can spin. And we have very good ankles too. Let's transform the Mandalorian. All right, we're gonna take the cockpit and front or back off actually. Okay, detach them. Turn this into a weapon. Take on that double hinge, bring it like that, bring it all the way back. And let's get this handle out of there. There we go. All right, let's concentrate on the body itself. First thing we're going to do here is open up these gun hatches. One here and one here. There we go. And now we're going to open up these little things right here. One clip on that side and one on this side, just to detach these arms. Okay. Now we're going to take this whole assembly on this hinge, bring it back. Same thing on this side. Let's grab his head while we're at it. Perfect. All right. Let's move to this whole section. We're going to bring this whole thing up. And these two panels on either side, we're going to bring backwards. Up, up, and they'll fit right in here. But first, before we do that, we're going to go to the underside and grab this little thingy. That's going to stabilize his head when we transform him. This is kind of a weird part of it. So we get that in there. And now we kind of shimmy this thing around. There we go. Did pretty well for me. And now we find this tab. Goes in that slot right there. All right. His head stabilized. Great. Now in the back, let's put these things back in. Perfect, just like in the front. And bring these things around to the front as well. Now, let's get his arms out of the way and up. We don't have to lock him in yet, but let's concentrate on the feet, or the legs, I guess. We're gonna split it open right here. And then on this hinge, we're gonna take this whole thing, this whole bit right there up like that. And now, we're going to, on this hinge, take this whole thing down. Perfect. And now we can bring this down, get it in, close it, and we have a foot. Same thing on this side, guys. We're gonna go in on this hinge. Open it up. Then we're gonna take it on this pull hinge, bring it all the way around. Bring this down. Fold that in, turn it around, and we have another foot. Now the last thing we have to do here is turn these around. Perfect. Turn these around. And now the whole waist. We are almost there. All right, now turn the arms upside down. Great, and now they'll click into place. Perfect. And click into place right there too. Wonderful. Okay, my head came out a little bit. We're gonna put that back in. There we go. Now we grab the hands, guys, right here. Open that up. Grab the hand, bring it out, close it back. One more over on this side. Grab that out of there. I can't get it for some reason. There we go. There we have the Mandalorian. Let's get to some of the positives that this Mandalorian figure has, guys. And first and foremost, the more you look at it, the more detail just pops out. And it is awesome. The gold comes out there, the show accurate little details. Man, the belt, the head sculpt, very cool. My favorite small detail might be this holster. And his little pistol fits in there too. Just made my day. I know, I'm a simple guy. It's beautiful in there, although if you're trying to do some poses, you could break it. It restricts a little bit. Amazing. The accessories. There's lots of accessories with this guy that can be used in both modes. Really, really cool. Lots of blast effects too. The fact that the tail end of the ship itself turns into his weapon with blast effects, awesome. Simply put, this Transformer looks great in both modes. All right, guys, let's get to the nitpicks in this figure. There's only a few, but there's one pretty glaring one that stares you right in the face here. So they go to the trouble to let you be able to do this. Have a presentation piece for a missing character, Grogu. Grogu's not here, but this is all telling you you could put Grogu here. Very weird to do this and not give us Grogu. I don't know why they didn't, whether it would have cost more money, more licensing, but here is a little Miles Morales that fits in perfectly. It would have been great for that. It's a glaring omission in what could be one of the best crossovers ever. The price has been a bit of a point of contention on this figure since it was announced. A lot of people talked about a Star Wars tax or a Disney tax. Well, that's certainly evident. They certainly tried when they could to pack a lot of stuff in this figure. I think it's worth it, but I'll put it in the nitpick category just in case. He's got some pretty big spikes on his shoulder here that when posing, you know, can get kind of in the way, knock around a little bit. Some people don't love the look of it. I actually really dig the look. We don't have a Transformer that looks like this, so I'm cool with it. And with the size comparisons, guys, let's start with Dad, Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. And obviously, he's got a little bit more girth. But Mando, if you measure the top, he goes a little bit taller. I'm okay with that. Those spikes are cool with me, man. And Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. And I think Bumblebee's firearm is bigger than Mando's. And Party Wallop, who is a bit of a chunky boy. And here he is alongside Studio Series 86 Springer in helicopter mode. And final thoughts, with a show accurate alt mode, a wonderful paint application, and tons of accessories that you can use in both modes, The Mandalorian is the best Star Wars crossover yet, and one of the best Transformers crossovers, period. Absolutely meme worthy. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Well, if there's one thing I did learn today, it's that I didn't know I needed a holster on a robot toy as bad as I did. More of that, please, Hasbro. Did you guys get the Mandalorian Transformers crossover? What did you think? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. And please subscribe to my channel as well. It means so much. And I'll see you next time on Dan's Vintage Toy Chest. Until then, well, play on.